The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Pairin Srisom. Chapter 6. In the Graveyard. At 9:30 that night, Tom and Sid were sent to bed as unsure. They said their prayers and Sid was soon asleep. Tom lay awake and waited in restless impatience. The clock struck 11. Then there came Huck's signal, the meowing of a cat. A minute later, Tom was dressed and out of the window. He crept along the root of the woodshed and then jumped to the ground. Huckleberry Finn was there, with his dead cat. The boys moved up and disappeared in the darkness. Half an hour later, they were stepping door, the tall glass of the graveyard. It was on the hill, about a mile and a half from the village. A faint white molded through the trees, and Tom feared that it might be the spare of the dead complaining about this disturbance of their rest. The boys talked in whispers for the time and the place, the solemnity and the silence had a despairing effect on them. They found the half of nearly dark earth which they were sinking, and crept within the protection of three great trees that glowed within a few feet of the grave. Then they waited in the silence for what seemed a long time. The muffled cry of a distant bird was the only sound that troubled the dark stillness. "Huck, do you believe the dead people like us to be here?" said Tom in a whisper. "I wish I knew," whispered Huck. "It is unfolding some instance it. Is it?" There was a long pause. "I say, Huck, do you think House William can hear us talking?" "Oh, of course he can. At last his spirit can." Another long pause followed. "I wish I would say Mr. Williams," breathed Tom, "but I never meant any them. Everybody calls him Horse. You should be very careful how you talk about these dead people, Tom." This was declaring, and conversations died again. Suddenly Tom grasped Huck's arm and exclaimed, "Shh! What is it, Tom?" The two boys held on the edge of their ears, breathing fast. "Shh! There it is again! Didn't you hear it? Oh, Tom, they are coming! They are coming! What will you do?" "I don't know. Do you think they will see us?" "Oh, Tom, they can see in the dark just like cats. I wish I hadn't come." The boys bent their heads together and securely breathed. A dull shout of voices ran up from the far end of the graveyard. "Look there!" whispered Tom. "What it is?" "It's Devil Fire! Oh, Tom, this is awful!" Some dark figures approached thought the grove swiftly an old-fashioned lamp. It's the devils, I'm sure. 3 of them. Tom, I will never get every hour with. Can you pray? I will try, but don't the offend. They are not going to hurt us. Shh! What is it, huh? They are human brains. One of them is I'm Curtain. That old Peter's voice. No, isn't. Is it? I know it's Dunsus. He he isn't soft enough to nothing us. Drunk as usual, I accept. All right, I will keep still. Here they come again. I say huck, I know another of them. It is Leskin Joe. That's so. That's Mandarin half-bred. I would later have devils. What do they want? The 3 men left the cave and stood within a few feet of the boy's hiding place. Here it is, said the third voice, and the owner of it held the left up the revealed the face of young Dr. Robinson, further and red-skinned. Joe had hundreds from which they took a bucket, a loaf, and 2 spades. Then they began to open the grave. Hurry, men, said the doctor in a low voice. The moon may come up at any moment. They made an incisive reply and went on digging. For some time there was no noise but the sound of the spade moving the earth. Finally, a spade struck the coffin, and within another minute or two the men had lifted it out. They broke off the lid with their spades, got out the body, and dropped it roughly on the ground. The moon sailed out from behind the corpse and lit up the monkey face. The handcart was got ready, and the body was paid on it, covered with the blanket, and about it is paid with the loaf. Porter took out the knife, cut the end of the rope, and then said, "Now the cross thing's ready, Sawbones, and you will hand out another $5, or here it stays." "What's the way to talk?" said Redskin Joe. "What does this mean?" asked the doctor. "You demanded your pay in advance, and I have paid you." "Yes, and you have done more than that," said Redskin Joe, approaching the doctor. 5 years ago, you drove me over your father's kitchen once. Night, when I came to ask for the bit of bread, and you called me a Southdale, when I swore that I would make you suffer for that, even if it took me 100 years. Your father had me put in prison as a vagabond. Did you think that I, with native blood in me, would forget such treatment? And now I have got you, and you must pay for it." He was threatening the doctor with his fist in his face by his time. The doctor struck out steadily and knocked the village down. Porter dropped his knife and exclaimed, "Here, don't scare my partner." The next moment Porter and the doctor were fighting fiercely. Redskin Joe sprang to the feet, his eyes flaming. The fury snatched up Porter's knife and went clapping cat-like about the struggling men, seeking for an opportunity. Suddenly the doctor threw himself free, seized the heavy headboard of William's cab, and stunned Porter with it. At the same instant, the half-breed saw his chance and drove the knife up the handle in the young man's breast. He staggered and fell partly up on Porter, folding him with his butt. At the same moment, the crowd covered up the dreadful spectacle, and the two terrified boys seized this opportunity to creep away in the darkness. When the moon came out again, Redskin Joe was standing over the two men, regarding them dolefully. The doctor murmured something, gave a long gasp or two, and was still. The half-breed muttered that a cough is setting cost you. Then he rolled the body. After doing so, he put the fatal knife in Porter's right hand and sat down on the broken coffin. 3, 4, 5 minutes passed, and then Porter began to stir and moan. His hand closed up on the knife. He raised it, glanced at the end, let it fall with a shiver. Then he sat up, pushing the body from him, and gazed at it and around him confusedly. His eyes met Redskin Joe's. "Good heavens! Was this Joe?" he said. "It's a nasty business," replied Redskin Joe, without moving. "What did do it for? I didn't do it." Porter trembled and went white. "I thought I wasn't drunk. I should have tried any drink tonight. But it is in my head yet. I can't remember anything about it. Tell me, Joe truthfully, now or follow did I do it, Joe? Up on my soul and honors, I swear that I never meant to. Joe, tell me how it happiness, Joe. Oh, it's awful." And he was such a fine young doctor. "Why, you two were staggering, and he hit you with the headboard. And now you're down. Then you got up, snatched the knife, and stuck it into him just as he hit you again. And you have been lying here still now. Oh, I didn't know what I was doing. It was all on account of drunk and examined. I'm sure I never used a weapon in my life before, Joe." The poor coach dropped on his knees and held out his arms before the murder. "Joe, don't tell. Say that you won't tell, Joe. That's a good fellow. I have always liked you, Joe, and defend you too. I won't tell will you, Joe? No, you have always been good to me, Butter, and I will keep my mouth shut. Oh, Joe, you are an angel. I will bless you for this, Joe. My diving day. He began to cry. Come now, that's enough of that, said Reskin Joe. You go that way and I will go this. Move now and don't have any tracks behind you. Butter hurried away and the half-breed stood looking after him. It is as Mustang with the blow and as David with the drink as he seemed to be. Reskin Joe wonders. He won't think of the nymph till he is gone so far that he will be afraid to come back for it. The crowd.